Hello everybody. Today I'm here to give you a review on something like this. This is a paint by numbers kit for adults. This one is from Temu. So, it's cheap. These usually go like $4 or $5. Some really fancy ones, maybe $7. But that's it. At least right now, of course, current administration is supposed to impose some tariffs on us, so we'll see. That heaven only knows. I don't even get into that. But I paid about $5 for this or so really good price. This is something I got into doing in Christmas this year. It's 2025 right now. So 2024 December, Christmas time, I had time off. It was cold outside. I couldn't get out and do the stuff I wanted to do, so I got one of these. Actually, what I ended up getting was an artist loft version that was really nice. I really liked it. I got mine on sale because these at the craft stores will run you $16, $18 regularly, or more depending on how big you get them. This is a 16 by 20 inch, which is roughly the same size as the Temu one. And it was on sale half price for $8. So that gives you an idea of what they're like. So is the $5 or $4 equivalent any good in comparison? Well, other than the fact that you see that comes in a nice box, and inside that box it's rolled up like a scroll so it doesn't get any crease lines. And it has these really cool, see if I can get one apart here to show you, ways to make a little simple frame. It's not really a frame. It's two pieces of wood, and you've got a couple of rivets basically that go through pre-drilled holes in here that punch through at the bottom to apply weight to your canvas, and then at the top with a little leatherette strap on it to form a solid top piece. So you've got your canvas stretched out between, top and bottom sections. This bottom one for weight and top one for support. And it's a super simple, super elegant solution to be able to hang these up. It works super well, and you can put it in a box. These don't have that. These have this. It's just a little cheap is what it is. It's one of these little picture hangers that has the little V section. The part here is split in two. It has two sides, so your canvas would go in between them. And then basically there's this tiny little screw that you stick through your canvas and screw into the wall or something like that. I don't know. It's really cheap, and it's going in the garbage. I'm going to find me a couple of sticks and do something like that. I like that. This doesn't come in a box, so the downside to it is your canvas is folded, so it's going to have creases in it. Now, let me show you the one I'm working on, and you'll notice it has no creases. There's an easy way to get these out. All you need is an iron. Here's one I'm working on right now. It's kind of a rendition of Starry Night with 4 cats looking, and you can kind of see the outline of the cats here. I love Van Gogh already. I love Starry Night, and I've got a couple of cats. I love cats, so the two together, I had to have this. And you'll notice there's no creases in it. The canvas is nice and flat. It did, the more I lay it out, uncrease even more. But all I did was when I got it out, I flipped it over like this, set it down on a nice towel, and I got a steam iron and just went across and steamed the creases and pushed down on them. It didn't stick in one place too long, but it got the creases out 95%. And the rest over the last couple of weeks, as I've been working on this, have dropped out pretty much on their own. It comes with paints. Those are your little paint jars and some brushes. And not a whole heck of a lot else. There is a picture to show you what it's going to look like when it's done. Isn't that cool? That's a nice picture. Can't wait to be done. It has a guide that will tell you, like, if I paint this right here and I didn't finish that section as I go down, and you know there's a blank spot there or something, I can go back later when I've painted over the number and see what color was that supposed to be there. Or if I screw up and paint over it and I'm like, oh, I don't think that was the right color, I can go look it up on the map key here and find out what color it was. So that's really handy to have. The other side is instructions, and if you need instructions as an adult on how to do a paint by number, this isn't really going to help. So pitch that. So is any of this any good? Canvas, not bad. Canvas has a little bit rougher texture than the one does by Artist Loft. At least the one I'm working on now does. But it's not that bad. It's not bad at all. Paints, the paints are almost identical. Now I'm going to bring over here one from the Artist Loft kit. Can you tell the difference? Neither can I. These are probably the exact same paints made by the exact same company. The brushes. Here is a brush from the Artist Loft kit. Here is a brush from the Temu kit. Notice anything? They're almost identical. This is just a bluer stick. It may just be a different manufacturing run, but they're the same brushes. And I'll tell you what, they're garbage. Throw them away. What you want to do, if you're going to be serious about doing any of these, is get a couple of these. I've got two different varieties. They're sable hair brushes. They're not expensive. If you're going to be on Temu, just get some off of Temu. I got this an entire set of these. Look how fine tipped that is. And they're so nice. They let you put stuff very high quality and very fine work. Because look at some of these lines. Some of these lines are really small. Let me get there. Some of these lines and sections are really small. And these big brushes that they give you with a kit suck. You can't really do fine control. That just glops on. This lets you get fine control, and I think a whole set of these on Temu. It's fake sable, which is fine. I don't care. No sables were harmed in the making of this video. It was like $1.50. So even with tariffs, those are going to be cheap. Paints. Paints are not bad. Let me open one up and show you something real quick. All right, I got a couple of them open here, and you can see on this one, the number 14, right there, how thick and gloppy it is. That's impossible to put in the fine detail areas. Like, look at these little lines right there. That is so thick, there's no way you're going to be able to put it on there. And look at these, like 22, 22, 22, 22 massive sections here. You can't make it last with that tiny little thing there too. The secret to this is acrylic paint. It's water soluble, and you can see this one looks creamier. Sometimes I'll just take a little bit with a toothpick. I've got a bunch of toothpicks I've used, like this one right here. I just use them over and over. Dip out a little bit from here and put it in this lid. Put a drop of water off my finger and mix it up and just use the stuff out of the lid. If I've got a lot of it to do, sometimes I'll put several drops in here and mix it up until it's really creamy and much thinner. You want it so that when you dip your brush in here, your dip is able to absorb that in and then release it as you paint, not glop it on. Now for your lighter colors like this, that might not work so well. You may have to keep it relatively thick. Because like even that color right there, like that yellow, you need it a little bit thick to get good coverage. But for lighter, all this dark stuff up here, you can thin the heck out of that. And it still looks the same. And I always keep a little dish, a little carafe. I need to empty that and refresh my water right here. To work with, I'll about every 15 or 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that, I'll rinse my brush off or at least dip it down in there and kind of do that, because you'll see paint building up along the section, this top section here, and it'll get thick and doesn't let your brush move as easily. So I just want to rinse that stuff, that buildup off, and keep the brush flowing smoothly. So other than that, those are the secrets to making these work really well. Use water to thin those down and get some decent brushes. They're pretty doggone cheap. So easy to do. Other than that, so far I really like these. These take a huge amount of time to do. If you take your time, do the fine detail. You don't want to get in a hurry. That's the whole point of these. You don't want to get in a hurry. If you're putting an hour a day in, like the one I'm doing here, if I put an hour a day in on this, it's probably going to take me close to a month to do this. And it's winter right now. It's snowy and miserable here. I am not a winter person. So I go absolutely bonkers January and February waiting for spring to get here. This gives me a little bit to do, a little bit to distract me, and help make those times a little better. Because you can sit down and start doing this and look at your watch, it's like 7 p.m. or something, and just do a little bit, just get lost in thought, and the next thing you look at your watch, an hour has passed by, and it feels like 10 minutes. So it's very, very relaxing, something that you can do after a hard day at work, or maybe a little bit before you go into work when you're dreading going in. That's every place these days. But it's very relaxing. It's very much worth taking the time to do something like this. So sure, while the getting's good, if you can go out and get yourself some of these, I highly recommend it. If nothing else, go get one or two, get the little cheap paintbrushes to go with it. You probably won't spend $10 doing it. You can't even go to McDonald's and get them nuggies these days for $10 hardly. So one less McDonald's trip. Come on, and try it out. If you get a couple, you do one, and if you don't like it, you got a birthday present for somebody. Just saying. So see if somebody else likes it. Well worth it. I think it's a great. I think these are great. A lot of your Temu items that I've gotten are absolute garbage. So far, these have been just a lot of fun and well worth it. It's hard to screw up a piece of paper with some lines on it, and all the markings on this are really, really well done. It's actually better than the Artist Loft one that you get that you pay a whole lot more for. So go have fun, do some paint, and I hope your life is going so well that you don't need those. But it is nice to have. When you're retired or something, like I wish I were, then it's something to just make the days that much more beautiful. So see you guys later.